It's time for the BAQA. Hey, the BAQA with Tiffany. The BAQA, no man day. The BAQA. Hey, it's time for the BAQA, Brown Ambition question answers. You have questions, we have some answers, although we are not your mama, your brother, not your sister, just your friend, not your doctor, not your attorney, not your financial advisor to the end. Okay? We're none of those things, which means that you're going to lean into the people that you pay for the final say. That was a bar. Lean into people you pay for the final say. I should have been a rapper. Okay? If you have questions, you can ask them sliding our DMs on IG, Brown Ambition Podcast. You can send us an email, brownambitionpodcast@gmail.com, or go to brownambitionpodcast.com and click contact us. Okay? If you want to be anonymous, please say, if what you're saying is a little bit scandalous, we might make you anonymous anyway, because, child, we do not want to be responsible for what happens. And if you want to be anonymous or you want to give us a fake name, like today's contestant, then, do that too. So this is in from Sandy on IG. Hi, Mandy and Tiffany. I have a car buying question for you. I'm looking to buy a car later this year. Estimate cost is $30,000. Should I pay for it in cash or finance with a large down payment? With car interest rates being upwards of 7% plus and my high yield savings account rate is 4.3%, I can make a case for taking the money from savings and paying for the car in cash, but that would take a big chunk out of my savings. That makes me nervous, even if the numbers look right. My details, which we love when you do details. My emergency fund is $50,000. Ooh, okay, so to be more than half your emergency fund. I fully fund my Roth IRA, HSA, and put 11% into my 401ks, traditional/Roth IRA. To my 401ks, okay. Put a little into a 529, so that means a kid. It sounds like you have a kid. And I have a 780 credit score. I mean, Sandy, you looking for a partner? I don't know if you was a man or a woman, child, but either way, you looking good. Bare bones, my monthly living expenses are $2,500, debt-free. So $30,000 would be about 12 months of emergency fund. Income is $101,000. Thank you. If you use it for your podcast, Sandy is a good name. Thank you. You're both awesome. Oh, you're welcome. First of all, Sandy, let's take a moment. Because, Sandy, your numbers are cute. I don't know what you look like, but I promise you, you're good looking. Because these numbers are fine, baby. These numbers is fine. If you're a woman, super fine. If you're a man, super duper fine. Okay? No, this is really awesome. I love to see this. So basically, you have about a year and a half of emergency funds saved, give or take, with $50,000, which is great. You're making good money at $100,000 plus. You have maxed out on everything, which is great. The question, you sound kind of like me when I'm making a decision. And I'll tell you what my financial advisor told me. When I'm making a decision whether to buy something cash, because I'm in a similar position as you in that I don't have any debt, I max out on all my things, I have plenty of emergency savings, all the things. It really comes down to, on the surface, she told me, like, I bought my condo and I said, Anjali, I want to buy my condo. I think I want to buy it cash. And she said, okay. Now, here's the thing. On the surface is that if we're just talking straight mathematical decision, then is that the best choice? No, because my condo was a little over $500,000. And I said, I want to buy cash, $500,000. And she said, okay, here's the thing, Tiffany, you can, get a loan. I think at the time, maybe I could have got a loan for like 6%, 7%, which was high. Because that's why I was kind of like, I don't want to pay I don't want to pay loans. Plus two, quite honestly, I already lost the house to foreclosure in my 20s. And I like knowing that I own it full out. And I just don't want to have to pay a mortgage. And I pay HOA here. And so I just was like, I just didn't want to have to think about a mortgage. So, but on the surface, I could have put down a good size, down payment like you, and I could have paid monthly, and then I could have put the rest of the money in the market. And to be honest, last year, I think the market returned about 22%. Thanks. So think about what's 22% of 300,000. Like, let's just say I put down 200, not even 200. Let's just say I put down 100,000 and I put 400,000 in the market. Child, let's do the math. Let's do the math. 400,000. Not that I would have put all into the market, but let's just say for this, times 22%, 400,000 times 0.22. Child, what's happening? 400,000 times 0.22, $88,000. So if we're looking at super simple math, I missed out on maybe making an additional $88,000 because I could have put the money to work versus putting the money inside my condo. My condo did not appreciate $88,000. Of course, that's really simple math. That's, that I probably wouldn't have made that, but let's just say even 50 that I left on the table for peace of mind for me. So I had to ask myself, what is my desired outcome for paying for it in this way when I have everything else just like you, check, 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 check. I wanted peace of mind, and I'm not mad at me, quote unquote, losing out on $50,000 for my own peace of mind. Here's why. I did not know this, but 2023 was a really rough year in business. I made like almost no money. And so I didn't really take home a lot of money last year. And normally, I have take home, not gross, take home, some years, multiple seven figures. Last year was barely, child. I don't even know. Maybe I made 200,000. I don't even know. Not that that's a little bit of money, but compared to making 2 million. And so on top of everything else I was paying for, I'm glad I didn't have to pay the mortgage. So I'm not mad at my decision, although I was conscious in making that choice. What could that money, if not used to pay down the car in full, what could that money be doing? So then the other thing so that's just the pure math side. On the other side, to ask yourself, how do you want to feel about this money? Are you like, oh, I really don't want to have to pay this, that's what it sounds like you're saying. Like, I really don't want to have to pay for this car note. How long is the car note? Can you prepay? Like, let's just say you put down $10,000 or $5,000 or whatever. Are you able to prepay if you're just like, I want to be done with it? That's something Anjali also told me. What if you paid and then wait for interest rates to go down and then prepay it off? These are just some things to consider. I don't think it's necessarily wrong to pay the car for $30,000, but if I was going to get a car note, I would be looking at credit unions. I know you said 7% plus, and I agree. I took a look at the numbers, but for example, Navy Federal, right now, I think they're offering like a little under 5%. So I would be shopping around if I was going to get. And I know this doesn't fully answer your question. Like, what should I do? The answer is it depends, because you're in a good position to make the choice. I want everyone listening to understand that Sandy gets to make this choice from heart focus out because of the other financial position she finds herself in. I get to make a choice that says I'm leaving $50,000 on the table so I don't have to stress for 2023, because I know that there are other ways that I can make the gap up for that 50,000. Maybe it's a speaking engagement. Maybe it's launching something for the business or whatever. So, Sandy, you get to make the choice to say, what could I do with that 20? If you're just going to stick the 20 in your savings account, but if you were going to put the 20 maybe into the market, when we know on average the market's going to yield about 10%, give or take, annually, if you look at the average, maybe there's money you're leaving on the table. So the answer is, it's really up to you and how you want to feel and navigate. Know that any money that is like plunged into like debt, or plunge into like an asset that's depreciating, is money that's kind of lost over time. So if you're looking at the smarter financial choice, probably making a payment probably is a smarter financial choice. And then, but not just putting that money to work for savings, actively making that money work. You'd have to put it in the market for it to make sense. But if you don't want to own anybody and you're like, child, I don't want to have to pay this forever and ever and ever, you can pay it off in full. So Sandy, I hope that helps you decide what's best for you. Yeah. And then here's like, aside from Sandy, like literally my stepdaughter's texting me now harassing me because I told her I was going to buy her, okay, she come on Thursday. Okay. I told her I was going to buy a car for her for graduation. And she's so cute because I told her like, so if, I don't know if you can see the mess behind me because I've moved into my condo, which was a lot emotionally. I'm in here now, but my office is a mess. Nothing is, it's just so much going on in here. And so I told her I would pay her to do my office, like to set it up and take all the things out of the boxes, whatever. And I asked her, how much are you going to charge me to set up the office? And she told me $650. I told her to think about it. She told me $650. I'm like, girl. But I like for her, whenever I hire her to do something, I like for her to tell me what she thinks she's worth. Because it's important for her to learn, especially as a young Black woman, to learn. So I always tell her, do your research and come to me and then explain to me where you got these numbers. So she was like, I did my research and I think $650. I said, where'd you get that from? I said, I will share with you what I'm thinking and you tell me where'd you get that from? She's like, well, I Googled and I saw that this is what people charge. I'm like home edit people or like task grabby people. Because I told her I was thinking closer to 200. And she said, okay. I said, because I went on TaskRabbit and I looked and I saw organizers were about $40 to $45 an hour. This is probably about a 3 or 4 hour job. So we're looking at about $200, give or take, maybe 180 to 200. And she was like, okay. I was looking at the super professionals who like have their own companies, which understandable, but that ain't you, sis. You're 17. So then she said, you know what? Okay, I'll take 160. I said, Alyssa, I actually had to call her because we were texting. I said, girl, I told you 200. Why are you taking 160? And then she said something so sweet because you think these kids don't be knowing. She said, you always do so much for me, Tiffany. I'm always so grateful for you. And so I'm going to give you a discount. I was like, oh, that's sweet, but don't do that. I told her, don't do that. When someone makes you an offer for this is what I'm willing to pay, take that money. I said, you don't get to be a big boss lady and taking discounts that nobody asked for. It'd be one thing if I asked for a discount. I did not. I said, if anything, Alyssa, I actually was hoping you would push back and say, girl, let's do $250 if it goes over 4 hours, and that's the max that you'll pay. And she said, okay. So I said, I'm gonna pay you the $200. Don't ever offer up a discount when someone didn't ask for it. And so she was just texting that she wants to, come by on Thursday to start like organizing. And I said, okay. And then she was asking me about, buying her car. And I will tell you what tell her what I'm going to tell you, Sandy. As you look for a car, I don't know if you're getting a brand new car, but I have never had a brand new car and I don't want it. I don't want it. Why? We all know that cars depreciate as soon as you pull it off the lot. You can literally buy a shirt from Target, keep it for a week or two, say, I don't want it. Like, I don't want it. I think this top that I'm wearing is from Target. Bring it back and get all your money back. You keep a car for a week or two, you cannot get the same amount of money that you pay for that car. It depreciates. A car is an asset, something you own, but it's a depreciating asset, something that you own that has less value over time. Unless it's some I don't know, original Harley from, I don't even know, Harley's not even a car. Anyway, so considering that it depreciates over time, I do not like to buy brand new cars. My dad taught me early on, it doesn't make sense. I let most of the depreciation falls off in the first year or two, and then that's when I buy it. I get my cars 1 or 2 or even 3 years old, still fairly new. I get it certified pre-owned, which means if anything breaks on this car, y'all got to fix it for free or for a low deductible, like $50 or $100. And so every car I've owned has been that way. My last car I had, child, it was always something wrong with that car. But guess what? It was certified pre-owned. I've had 3 new engines in that car. Did you hear what I said? 3. I ain't even going to shout that company out. It's a famous car brand. 3 new engines. Brand new. An engine is what, $2,500, $3,000? You do the math. They don't pay me to drive that car these days. And I still have certified pre-owned on that car for the next 3 years or something like that. And so I'm gonna drive that car. Well, my sister has it now. She gonna drive that car until that certified pre-owned is up and then she'll sell it. So if it was me, Sandy, just like I told Alyssa, I told her you're not getting a new car. You're gonna get a certified pre-owned car because you get the warranties of a new car for 2 to 4 to 5 years, depending how old the car is, up to a certain number of miles. But without the depreciation, the big hit of depreciation for a car that's brand new. So that's what I would suggest to you too, Sandy. I don't know if you're buying a new one, but if you are, consider certified pre-owned. Yeah, girl. Okay. Darcy, if you want to ask questions, go ahead on over to brownambitionpodcast.com and click contact us, slide in our DMs on IG, Brown Ambition Podcast, or email us at brownambitionpodcast@gmail.com and leave us a review. If you love these epis, and I hope that you do, share it with someone. Tell a friend, because when you send a review, it means people can see us, they can hear us, and they can get more access to us because reviews boost us up with the algorithms and such, especially if you do it on Apple Music, Apple Podcasts. I don't know. Mandy's not here. She usually does that part. But until next week, you already know we're here every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And if you missed the Wednesday episode, child, go listen because I talk about student loan debt relief and all that I learned. And I talk about my trip to the vice president's residence and meeting her or whatever. It's a good epi if I do say so myself. And I do say so myself. All right. Until next week, y'all. Bye. Hey, BA fam, we're on YouTube. Woohoo! Thank you so much for watching. Please like this video and subscribe to the channel.
And while you're at it, why don't you go over to that little bell icon and just tap that for us. Show the BA fam how much you love us. And that way you'll also get notifications when new videos drop. Also, share the channel with a friend. We're always like, tell a friend, tell a friend, tell a friend. And thank y'all so much again for all the support.